Hello, 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 good evening and welcome to this, can you believe it's the Thursday night edition of the Visibility Made Easy. This is the episode where we're going to be talking about those visibility essentials. Now, what do I mean by visibility essentials? Well, you know how you hear people saying it's best to do this or it's best to do that. Tonight we are going to cover 3 essential ways to get almost like automatic visibility when you're getting your business out there, your book, your message, or trying to step up in a whole new way. So as usual, you are there, and that's where I look at you. My computer is over here, so I'm just about to load that page up just in case we have those things that happen. You know, the ones where you all put your comments, you all show me your love, and I can't see it. So one thing that you need to know, I'm going to try something new that I heard about literally less than 15 minutes ago. So I am going to see if I'm able to pin a comment up on the screen as I speak to you. So if I'm looking a bit vacant at the moment, it's because I'm navigating if I can do that. So, well, it's let me put something there. Who knows? Who knows? So I have my coconut water in hand. Let me just explain something. About 2 weeks ago, I had this cold that was going around, this cough. And although the cold's mainly gone now, every now and then, when it's completely inappropriate, I burst into coughing fits. So just in case I do that, I've got something to drink beside me. So hot off the press is Ali. Ali says, hello, good evening. So I'm saying hello back. So let me have a look at my screen and see if I've managed to do this thing. Basically, the lovely Sarah told us that we can pin comments onto here, which means that if you join sort of a few minutes in, as many of you do, to these broadcasts, and I'm talking about something, you know what I'm talking about. So tonight we're about the essential or visibility essentials when standing out. Now there are 3 main ways you can stand out, and I'm just going to double check my just that I've got something connected here. So we've got Ali on the line and we've got Alan, and Ali is saying that she can't see anything yet, as in a pinned post. Can you see my comment per se? I'm wondering if I'm just going to quickly do a refresh of my screen, because I think that might, either I don't see the comments on there, can't see the comments on there, but I wonder if I can see them here. Let's have a look. Can't see the comment. Okay, this is really boring for you that are watching me. When I hear about something and I think, well, you know, 15 minutes to go, no rehearsals, let me try it. I'm going to try it on my computer. So I've now got a comment. Aha! Pin comment. Apparently, now you're watching me, although you might see the comments going up the bottom of the screen. Yes, I can see now. Oh, so was that you couldn't see the comment, Ali, or you couldn't see me? Visibility essentials when standing out. Excellent. So for any of you that have never joined me before, I'm actually known as the Queen of Being Seen. My name's Jenny Kovacs. Your visibility is really important to me. What do I mean by visibility? Many of you are aspiring business owners, you're business owners, or you're people that are getting your message out there in the world. Maybe you've got a book, maybe you've got a movement, a message, maybe you've got a methodology or something that you want to share. It could be that you've snuck in through the back door and you've tried to put together an online course, and now you're like, how on earth do I sell this online course? It could be that you're a speaker and you've been speaking for many years and you thought, you know what, I'm going to do a video. Or it could even be that you've decided that, well, everyone seems to be on Facebook, so I should be on Facebook as well. So sorry, I'm showing a bit of cleavage today. I don't normally, this is not part of my tactics to get you to view, by the way. It's just I've got a sports top on underneath a quite a low cut top and my wrap. So if you are looking to get your message out in front of more people in the world, then I'm going to cover some visibility essentials for you when you're starting out. Now, interestingly, in June, I will be having a one-day live event just for one day, and I'm going to go really deep into these 3 essentials because actually, if I'm honest with you, I want to prove to you, for those of you that think you need equipment or you need a polished talk or you need to have published your book first before you get out there, before you become visible, I want to actually show you that you don't have to do it that way around. Okay, so here's a little sneaky peek of an excerpt of the 3 main things that you can do literally right now to get you visible. I'll talk about the pros and the cons. I'll talk about the problems that they solve, sometimes for your audience, sometimes for you, and I'll talk about the solutions to those. But the most important thing is, while you've got me here for 20 minutes, what I urge you to do is, first thing, you'll see a share button at the bottom of your screen. If you share it now, your friends, your colleagues, your peers will be able to hop on and grab some of these juicy nuggets before we finish. The second thing that I'll ask you to do is, if you've got questions and want to ask about anything that I've just said there or anything that I'm saying throughout this, type your question in the box. Please know that I see a number count going up. I don't see you at all, and most of the time I don't even see who you are, who's joining me. So I just see this number count. So if you want to if you want to join in, if you want to ask questions, it's interesting because I've been talking a lot about brain picking and when to use it in business and when not to. This is a perfect time for you to pick my brains to be able to ask me a question now. If you try and hunt me down or send me Facebook messages or private messages through Twitter or just want to pick my brains any other way, unfortunately, it's not going to happen. So if you'd like to see more of the conversations that we have around visibility, then please do join us, the Queen of Being Seen, at the Visibility Vibes Tribe Facebook group. It's a closed group, which means only the people in the group see what you type. So, if you're thinking of starting a laundry business, but Uncle Roger wants you to keep going with the bricks business, the building business, it means that anything that you put in the group will not be shown to Uncle Roger or your best friend that you sit next to at your desk, who will suddenly know of your aspiring plans to start a business. All nice and private, all nice and quiet, and most importantly, so juicy. So supportive and so juicy. And that's everybody in there. A lot of the time these days, I don't even need to dive in and offer support because they've already done it, but I still do. So thank you so much for sharing. I can see that, Alan, you've already shared that. So very grateful to you. Very, very grateful to you. So what are essentials of visibility and why would you bother standing out anyway? So there are 3 main ways that we become visible, and I'll explain why I'm the person talking about this because this will make lots of sense too. So some of you will write what you do and feel really like in your comfort zone. Maybe you're an author, maybe you write lots of blog posts, white papers, articles, you even might write for a magazine. But what you and I know is that that's a nice way to get your name out there and get your subject matter out there and get your expertise out there, but it's not such a crash hot way to get paid. Or you might be the sort of business owner that speaks a lot. You go out, maybe you get paid to speak, or maybe you speak for free. And you go out and you get paid to speak and you get your fee and you walk away and you're very happy, thank you very much. Or you might be somebody who doesn't get paid to speak. So you go out there, you speak, you inspire people, you motivate them, they come back to you and say, that was so great. And then you have to scrabble through your pennies to either pay for the train ticket to get back home, stay in a hotel overnight, which you didn't account for, or even like put petrol in the car. And as much as it's so great that people are telling you how brilliant you are, it can be really soul destroying to think, but after those few minutes of me standing in the room, whether it's an hour and a half, 45 minutes, you go back to being almost invisible and no one knowing who you are, what you do, or the value that you add. So here are a couple of scenarios that I've seen. And as I say, if you've got questions or this kind of pings in your brain as we go through, by all means, do let me know. I will keep looking at the screen just to make sure that I don't miss any of your comments. Could you do me a favour? Could you just give me a thumbs up or a love heart just so I can see whether that's coming through on my screen or whether I need to keep looking over there at my computer, just so that I can test this out, because it's doing some very, very funky things at the moment. Ah, yes, excellent. I can see those. Excellent. Okay, so I'd like you to vote for me on something. And even if you're watching this on the replay, play along. If you are new to getting your stuff out there through speaking, give me a thumbs up. If you are new to getting your stuff out there through how you write, maybe you're an aspiring author, forthcoming book and all of that, or blog artist and you want to blog some more, if that's you, then send me a love heart. And if you are new, and this is all if you're new, and if you're new to recording, so maybe you're thinking of doing an online course, maybe you've made an online course but you just don't know how to get it out there, you're finding it harder than you thought. So whatever you do, you need to record. So it could be video, it could be Facebook Live, it could even be webinars. If that's you, then give me the laughing face, the laughter one, and you're new to it. Okay. If you, however, have done all of those things and want to do even more of those things, then by all means, I thank you for the yes, and you want to do all of those things, by all means, put whatever you like across the screen, type whatever you like in the box. Maybe keep it clean, but apart from that, type whatever you want in there. So, 3 ways in which you can really stand out. Now, the first way I'm going to speak about is often cited as the thing most people are scared of after death. Okay, so it's like widely known that public speaking is the thing that has people's knees shaking, you know, or I should say knees knocking, lips shaking, flushes on the neck, embarrassment, you know, self-consciousness and everything else that goes with that. And what should I do with my hands? And if I'm on the stage, should I walk around? Should I stay still? Should I use slides? Should I use a flip chart? Should I not use any of them? How can I look 1,000 people in the eye when I'm meant to keep eye contact? It goes on like that. Some of you, however, are really, really great at public speaking. You're comfortable with it. You love doing it. You're seeking more of it. Now, it's an interesting problem to have, because let me tell you why I'm talking about these 3 things. So the first one being speaking. So I have unwittingly been a visibility specialist for longer than I actually consciously realised. I started my business in 2010 and I consciously became aware that what I was doing wasn't about presentations or anything else like that, or speaking. It was actually about visibility. So showing people the art of being able to be seen and to be heard by the people that wanted them, loved them and needed them. And all of a sudden they started to stick out like a lighthouse and people gravitated towards them. But years before that, nearly 20 years before that, I was an employee. I didn't have a business. And although I started working in training, not quite as early back as 20 years, some elements of my job had a lot to do with connecting with people. So I worked in a big open plan centre for big companies like Thomas Cook's, where I became a £1 million seller. And then there was working abroad as a holiday rep, where I had to sell holidays to like rooms full of people, like 100, 150 people all in one go. I couldn't go around and speak to them individually. Then I started working in financial services. And in financial services, it was all, you know, selling to brokers, it was getting out there, and eventually it was training. Now, what's important to know about this was, back in the day, and still to this point, you know, to this day now, a lot of the visibility that I was doing was face-to-face, in the flesh, not recorded, not on the screen. And it was only when I started to move a percentage of my business to online that I realised that some of the things that I used as, you know, a face-to-face person weren't going to cut it online. And this is one of the biggest hidden problems I see. Not many people talk about the fact that you might be an excellent speaker, confident, have gravitas, be motivational, be inspirational, yet when you show up on camera, you think this is going to be easy. I'm going to do, you know, I'm going to do a video or something like that. I'm going to go for a webinar. And then all of a sudden you find that it's sticky. Now, in terms of visibility, there's a lot of different things you do when it's face-to-face compared to when it's online. So that's one of the solutions that you've got. If you're you know, a speaker and you go out there, that's brilliant. But there's certain habits that you bring as a speaker online which don't work. Okay, so if out of speaking or writing or recording yourself, if speaking is your thing, I am not of the school of thought that a lot of people are on at the moment. You know, Periscope is everything. Facebook Live is even more everything. drop everything else and go to Facebook Live. In fact, I would tell you that if that's your forte, stick with that forte and develop your skills properly on Facebook Live. I have seen so many speakers that say, oh, I'm just playing with Facebook Live. And they're actually doing themselves a disservice, because whilst they've got that confidence and gravitas that they have on the stage, it's important to influence hundreds and thousands of people in a room. There's certain traits of that if you do that on camera, it turns people off. So let's jump over to the second essential way. So the second essential way is video, obviously. And there are a couple of different ways you can do video. You can record raw videos and put them in your YouTube channel, or put them up here on Facebook or something like that. You can do Facebook Lives, as we're doing now. Great way to engage with your audiences, great way to connect with them. And the thing I love about Facebook Lives is that for those people who are now like watching other people's webinars, or feeding the kids, or putting them to bed, or on their commute home from work, they can either sit with some earbuds in their ears and watch this secretly, or they can wait until they've got home, had a glass of wine, had their dinner, and then at a time that's suitable for them, come back to us and start to look at this. And what like melts my heart, so if you are watching this on the replay, I love it when I ask these questions or ask you to do stuff, and even if it's the middle of the night and I wake up the next morning and see that you've been interacting, commenting, engaging or sharing, it really, really melts my heart. But the best thing about video is that you can get it out there in front of your audience really quickly. You can make it versatile, you can adapt. Now, when I say video, I don't just mean a video that you make and you might put anywhere on social media, including YouTube, because that is social media. I mean that you might be making a Facebook Live, or you might be hosting a webinar. You'll be teaching, but instead of being on the stage or in a workshop this time, you'll be on camera, and there's certain things to do that increases the engagement, that increases your connection, that acknowledges with your viewer that you know where they are and you are they're in safe hands. You're the person to take them from A to B. So this is another really fantastic way of raising your visibility. And as far as I'm concerned, video is an essential. But here's the thing. Most people recognise they have a fear of public speaking. They'll give you all the reasons why they can't public speak. They won't public speak. They won't be doing it this time. But many don't realise they have a fear of video until they think, well, I don't know how to do it. It's really technical, isn't it? I need a proper camera. I need lighting. I need a studio. Someone like me comes along and says, actually, no, you don't. You need 3 things. In fact, kind of 4, but 3 things. You need a smartphone with a camera on it that can make videos. You need an arm, or someone else's arm if you want them to hold it for you. And you need a mouth. But more importantly than the mouth is the message that comes out of the mouth. Are you motivating people? Are you engaging them? Are you educating them? You know, what are you doing? Are you might be an inspirational person, a motivational person, an educational person. You might have a movement and a message, and you might want to start, getting that out there in the world. And instead of having to tap on someone's shoulder, look them in the eye and tell them one by one, you can now do this as one to many. The problem is, because it looks like such a random thing people appear to hop on. I've seen them too. I've seen the Facebook Lives where if someone's at an award ceremony and they're like, "Hooray, we're at the award ceremony. We didn't win anything, but we've had a few glasses of wine. Woo, now we're dancing." Seen those. Seen the ones where people say, "Oh, I'm nervous about Facebook Live and I'm just going to do one for a few minutes." There's a lot of things underneath, like anything we do in life, like anything we do in our business, like the accountant or that we might hire, like the salesperson you might bring into your business to do something, like the VA that you might enlist to set up your automated systems, like the marketing course that you might pay to go on so that you can get really good at marketing and promoting your own business. Facebook Live is a really great strand of your marketing strategy, but the biggest pitfall that people fall into isn't that they're rubbish on camera, isn't that they don't know how to bring their speaking persona and morph it into a really palatable video or webinar or Facebook Live. It's that they say, "Oh, it's free, I'll work it out." And in that moment, what you've inadvertently done is not built your credibility, but actually lost your credibility. It's at that moment where I have to kind of turn a blind eye and pretend I didn't see it. Because the thing I do see in all of you is that I know you're brilliant. I know you want to make a difference. I know that people's lives matter. And I know that for a majority of the people that watch this and are part of my community, that you are service-based businesses. Meaning you're not selling a widget, like you're not selling a book. You're selling the chance for someone to have a new, new lease of life, freedom, opportunity, possibility. And when you're selling that, especially when you're selling that on camera, there's certain things that you just have to do differently. And watching lots and lots and lots of other people's Facebook lives and trying to work it out behind the scenes isn't going to cut it. It's going to be the slowest path to get you out there. You'll do a couple of Facebook lives and then you'll say, it's rubbish, it doesn't work, I'm not going to do it. You'll do a webinar, you'll go to sell your products or services and not understand why nobody bought from your webinar. Or the next problem, of course, is that you'll do the webinar, you'll smash it because it's your subject after all, but then you won't know what framework to hang your words on so that it not only motivates your audience into taking some action for themselves, it inspires them into realising the possibility of who they could be and what they could be, but also you'll be able to educate them in such a way that they go away feeling full, feeling loved, and feeling that they know that they can absolutely do it. So this is why I'm passionate about you being able to learn what to do online. I don't think it's difficult. I have now done, it's zooming up really quickly to about 220 Facebook Lives in about 10 months, I would say. So I've realised all the things that can go wrong, all the different systems you can use, and I'm by no means an expert in Facebook Lives, but I am an expert in how you show up to be totally visible for yourself and for those people that you're trying to reach and trying to serve. And then there's the next piece. Those of you who are authors, those of you that love writing, those of you that like writing white papers and articles, those of you that post your stuff, it might be on LinkedIn, it might be here on Facebook, you might have your own blog, you might work for an organisation. And you keep being told that you need to do something with that written content, like turn it into a video, like turn it into a Facebook Live, but you just don't feel like you want to or you're comfortable with it. Maybe you're toying with the idea of taking the stuff that you've written and standing in front of a room full of people and sharing it where you can see the whites of their eyes too. And that's okay too. Now there's a different way that you would show up and be visible, a different way that, or a different essential that you would use for standing out. So I invite you just to like for those of you that are watching, just type into the box, do you prefer written, recorded, or spoken? Written, recorded, or spoken? Which do you prefer? You might like all of them, but which one, if I said to you, like, you've got to do it in a minute's time, do it now, would you go for? Written, recorded, or spoken? Just type in the box below. And even if you are rewatching this, by all means, play along with that too. Which do you prefer? At which point I should have a sip of my water. Better. Okay. So here's the thing. Out of those three, written, spoken, or recorded, there's a certain piece to know where your strengths lie. I don't need to teach you about the content of what you share because you already know that. But like recognise where your true power is, where your strength lies. There's one other that I would class as going on to the recording piece that I don't currently do, but it's podcasting. Some of you might not want that visual on there, but you might want to record your voice as you talk to your people and connect with them in that way. So know which one is the best one. In fact, there's a book, I don't know if I've got it to hand here. It's by a man called Tom Rath, R-A-T-H, and it's called Strength Finders. Now, although this has nothing to do with whether you're a better writer or speaker or better on screen, it's years and years of research where they have crafted a test, and on that test, it shows your top 5 strengths. Now, I've done this test, and the top 5 strengths isn't the most important. Alan is saying he would speak at short notice. Absolutely, Alan. It's easy, isn't it? You just fall into it. If you're watching someone speak and they kind of, fainted or something like that, and they pulled you up from the audience, I know you would go and speak, no problem. So in the book Strength Finders, it's not the fact that it's like you look at your top 5 strengths, which don't tell you what to do or how to do it. They show you where your passion lies. And it's the premise, the piece underneath that pins it, where Tom writes and says, whatever your strengths are, he wants you to play to your strengths. Make sure that you incorporate your strength every single day of your life. Now, this is a brilliant way to be consistent, by the way. So for Alan, who would speak at short notice, if Alan could get into the groove of being able to speak on a regular basis, daily might be pushing it a bit, but if he can get into the groove of speaking on a regular basis, speaking to newer audiences and asking those audiences to ask for more people for him to speak to, not only will he feel really happy in himself, he'll be doing what he loves, and he'll be getting more juiced as he goes on, and yes, he will be increasing and raising his visibility. If you're the sort of person that likes to type and write, then get involved in forums, get involved in LinkedIn groups, get involved in Facebook groups. Start publishing your work out there, even if you don't think anyone's going to read it. Maybe collate it and make a mini book or an ebook, but start to go from a place of your strength, something that you love doing. And if you absolutely adore being on camera, make sure that you're being effective on camera, because you want to be reaching your people and serving your audiences. So in June, I'm actually going to go deeper into those 3 areas, and we're going to do it with a panel of experts too. I'll let you know more about that in the events tab. But here's the biggest problem that I found, whether you write it, speak it or record it. You get to a stage where you're ready to go, you're raring to go, and then this little question pops into your head. Oh, what shall I share then? What shall I write? How shall I say it? And for that, if you check the events tab above, you'll notice that there is a event that's going to be happening in Birmingham. Now, if you're looking up there right now and you can't see it, I'd get yourself over to the Visibility Vibes Tribe group, because there's a special deal on there. It's actually £75 a ticket. However, if you get yourself all booked up before the 6th of March, you're only going to pay £49. And that will secure you a day with me and a small group of other people. So this isn't a big room of 50, 100, 1,000. This is an intimate boardroom style setting with me, where I will personally help you craft your content. So next time you go to sit at your desk, next time you go to share something, you won't have that, oh my gosh, what shall I share moment. You'll come out of there with a plan so that you can share your content for the forthcoming days, weeks, and for many people that go through this process, months. It'll be tailored to you. If you're a speaker, it'll be tailored to you speaking. Okay, Alan's saying I couldn't see it when I looked. I thought, actually, as I said that, Alan, I need to cut and paste it over. So it will be in there, I would say, by the next 30 minutes or so. But Alan, if you go over to the Visibility Vibes Tribe group, click on the events tab, and you'll see it up there. I'd love to have you there. For those of you that haven't met Alan, he's the most inspiring person. And Alan, I need to have a quick word with you to get permission to share your story. But you're so inspiring, and the stuff that you do out in the world, the debt piece, the money piece, is so important for people. So important that it's like too good not to share. This is what really grabs me. It moves me to tears. I'm not going to cry. I've cried on Facebook Lives before, but it moves me to tears because so many of you have got so much talent inside, and because you don't know how to share it, you just don't. And there are too many people in the world that really need what you do. So if it's not up there, go into the Visibility Vibes Tribe Facebook group, have a look at the events tab. You'll see it's on the 24th, Friday the 24th of March. It's right smack bang in the middle of Birmingham. So you can come into Birmingham New Street by train, or if you want to drive, there's parking around the corner. And we're going to be in a really lovely hotel setting. I'll let you know, once you've booked, I'll let you know the exact location of the hotel. But if you decide to come by train, it's actually walking distance from the train station. But more than anything, I want you to be able to get out there and be visible. I don't want you to wait until June, until you get the opportunity to come to a one-day full event with me. I want you to start getting your stuff out there now, because people are waiting and people need you. What I really want you to do is to be seen, to be heard, to be noticed, and most importantly, to get visible. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your love hearts, your thumbs up and sharing. Look forward to seeing you in the Visibility Vibes Tribe group or back here tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Lots of love to you. Bye for now.